Welcome and behold, Fashion Frame Fridays. So, I have a quick announcement before we begin. This will be the last week of normal Fashion Frame Fridays for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be traveling, and there'll be more on that. I'll do a whole video talking about what's going on next week, but just know that Fashion Frame Fridays is going to be a little shorter and a bit more streamlined for the next 3 weeks, and I won't be able to accept viewer submissions, unfortunately, because I'll be away. So, just keep that in mind. Let's get to the fashion. So first off, we have this Nekros Prime appearance. I showed this in my video on the Cycron, which is our new Corpus beam pistol, so check that out in the description. Again, all these videos where these things were featured will be in the description. So let's talk about this Frost. This is the Frost Grost skin. It's really pretty. All of the Grost skins are really pretty. I personally really like it. The metallic is a bit different. As you can see, it's kind of like it got a different quality to it. So that does present some challenges, but personally, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like you see, we do have different metallics here. We've got a traditional one on that Prime helmet, not the Grost helmet. And we've got this strange one, kind of like glossy, sort of prismatic one on the Grost skin. And then we have a bit more of a matte one on these here Rivolite guards. And that's all different, but I think it meshes relatively well. It's a very stoic and epic appearance. I really like this skin. So yeah, I've chosen to use the normal Nekros Prime helmet. It's not that I don't like the Grost helmet. It's cool. I just think that the Nekros Prime helmet fits, and I really like these like arches on the top. Just my personal choice. And then I'm using Frost Noble animation. We do have the Prime details on, and this thing on my chest is the Labyrinth sigil from Cephalon Suda, and it's solid black, and it's placed over these little dots, like a little chest badge. So let's talk about the colors. Let's show the colors real quick. This is just pure black. You're going to notice that this is a really muted appearance. This has just kind of been my taste lately. I like things that look like they blend into the universe a bit more, like they really are like the actual frame. I don't know if this is that effective, but there you go. So let's talk about the energy color a little bit. This energy color is solid black because I like Frost's globes and stuff to be black so that they don't impair your vision. When you're inside a Frost globe and the energy color is pure black, it doesn't have that sort of like snow globe-y effect inside it, and it makes it easier to see. It's too bad because that effect is pretty, but it's distracting, so I decided to get rid of it. Here are the attachments. We have the Nekros Prime shoulder armor, which is what these things are, and the Rivolite guards on my legs. I decided to keep this one pretty sparse because I want to show off the skin, but as you can see, the colors on the Rivolite really nicely blend into the Grost skin, and I don't know, I just think it looks nice on Frost's really exaggerated legs, like his massive legs. So that's pretty cool. Again, if it bothers you that the metallic mismatches a little bit, then go figure. You could try to fiddle with the colors and change it, but it didn't bother me that much, which is a bit unusual for me. I kind of just like it the way it is. So yeah, it's a pretty simple appearance. These colors are in the same places as they are here, but I think it's pretty nice, and I hope you enjoyed it. Related, we're going to talk quickly about the Cycron. So I suggested kind of jokingly that people send me appearances for the Cycron, like them making it look cool, but no one did it, so if you want to do that, I would love to see, but again, I won't be able to update it for 3 weeks. If I really like one of them, I'll throw it in like once I'm back, but anyway, so yeah, these are the colors on this. It's very simple. It's just Orokin. This is the same color as that primary. Here's the tertiary. And then this energy color is just a green, like any green. I don't know, I just think this weapon is really cool. The whole thing is metallic, and usually when, or not the whole thing, but most of it, and usually that makes the weapon look kind of bad and gaudy, but I think for this one it looks very nice. That's just my personal opinion, but there you are. So let's move on to fan fashion. So this is from user Moekofi on Twitter, and a very frequent watcher of my channel. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really liked your Ivara appearance. I was checking this appearance out on my stream last weekend, so if you want to go watch that, that'll be in the description too. But yeah, I really liked this appearance. This guy was teaching us to do spy vaults, and I messed it up really bad for everyone, and they saved us, so I really appreciate that. But I also just really like this appearance, and I was stalking them in-game trying to get the exact colors. So they sent me them, and I really like it. So this is kind of cool. It's like, to me, it's a little bit like a corpus, or like swamp, or a mixture of the two kind of Ivara. I don't know, I just really like it. The green is just like works for me. I don't know, the blend of colors. So I'll show quickly what they did, and then I have some small modifications, as usual, because I love to change these appearances myself as well, but I want to show them in their original form, so it's that. Again, I didn't exactly have every single color they suggested, so I did the best I could. I think maybe this is a little brighter, I'm not quite positive. And then here's this darker green. Nice contrast there, I really like that touch on the Zoroaster helmet. And then here's, I think this is the color, something like that. I don't have the Dojo palette, which is what they used. And then the colors are in the same places on these accessories, which are the Salix Cyandana, the Quoro just on this shoulder, presumably they're trying to get some balance with the quiver on this other shoulder, that's a nice touch, and then the Dendra on the legs, which is nice. It kind of blends with the skirt, wispy thingies, whatever these things are, which I have a really, really nice texture with this color. I really, really like this color for that. Oh, also, they had the hyena sigil here, but I don't have the hyena sigil right now, so I apologize. Don't have it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to leave you with that, and then I'll be right back with my version. Here is my version of this appearance. I decided that I wanted to go for something more muted and also a little bit more blended, something sort of a more of a mix of green and blue rather than literally green and blue. And I've also made it asymmetrical, which might make some of you kind of mad, but you can undo that yourself if you want. So here are the new colors. This is this color. This is this color. Although really any pale green is going to work there. This is the same color as before. Really nice, rich, dark green there. This is solid black. And this is a slightly different energy color from Barrow. Now they do look similar, but just watch the effect on like these wispy stuff, right? See, this is just like more bright. It's more of like an actual color, whereas this is kind of just like white with like some ghosty blue-green in there. Anyway, I think it makes a pretty big difference because of how these textures look, but that's just me. And then I've changed around the animation set and the attachments. So here is the Lucra Cyandana, which we'll talk about in just a sec. This is a new Corpus Cyandana that they added with the Cycron. So great, it looks really cool. I really like that it's like stock market ticker information. And I don't know, I just think if we're going for like a sort of tech augmented, even more than Ivara's already, like tech augmented kind of Ivara, then maybe it's cool to have some more metal on her body. I always liked that her head has this kind of metal thing to it. I don't know, anyway. And then as you see, I have staggered Dendra and Quoro pieces. Ivara's appearance is already a little asymmetrical, so I like to kind of go for that a little bit when I can. And I also think that Dendra piece fits really well into the side quiver. Look at that. It's like it was made for that. It fits perfectly right in there. I don't know, I think it's pretty nice. So yeah, if you want a different balance of things, switch them around. These are the same colors. I've just moved them around, switched them about. This is the same green. These are both that same color from before, just a little bit brighter. It's just a little bit darker. Here's that black, etc. And there you are. So let's talk about the Lucra Cyandana that is featured on this appearance. But first, this sigil is a Nuka sigil. So our new piece of fashion for the week is the Lucra Cyandana that you just saw. The Lucra Cyandana can be bought for 100 platinum. And I think it does look really cool. Now it's changed my colors, so I'm just going to go back to my own Warframe. But yeah, I don't know, I really like it. I think that the texture of it is good. Like, it might seem a little bit stiff, but when you're moving with it, I think it looks good. And I really, really like the top piece. I do wish it was just a little bit higher, I think. But I don't know, just like moving around, right? I think it looks pretty good. I'm personally a fan. I also really like how it looks when you bullet jump. Just, it looks okay to me. I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of this one when it came out, but now that I've used it, I don't know, I like it a bit better. So give it a try. Excuse me? What is that? To finish up the day today, folks, we got my new Nekros fashion. So I've shown Nekros Prime fashion before, and I've done lots of videos on Nekros Prime, but I showed this in my video on a substitute for Maiming Strike on the Atarax, because I use the Atarax on my Nekros. But I've also done a Nekros video before, so I'll put that in the description. But yeah, this is my different appearance. My previous appearance was very dark, and I kind of wanted something more dramatic and a bit brighter for Nekros. I also saw someone's appearance that used this Cyandana with him, and I don't know, I just really like how I got very attached to how it looks. So if you think this looks a little weird, I understand, but maybe you'll get used to it over the course of this video. So I've slightly tinted this dark color red. This is like mostly just black, but like it's just a little bit red, and that does make a big difference. I'm gonna show you what it looks like with just black. See, it's just like a bit too bold, and it makes him look much more natural if it's like just a little bit more red. This is a bone white. This is the dirtiest of the whites on the Orokin palette. Again, a very big difference from having just plain white. Let me show you. That's plain white, way too clean. That looks much more human. Or, you know, not human, but give me a break. And then here is a much lighter color. This is for like his guts. I've kind of always had this color be that because I want it to look like actual organs. This could maybe even go a little bit lighter. That's a little realistic for me, but like that, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I'll change it to that, sure. That's nice. And then this accent color is a muted prime gold. Again, I recommend not using this. See, that's just too yellow. This is a much more like soft metallic. That's just what I prefer. And then we have solid black for the energy color. Now the reason I do this is because Nekros has a lot of abrasive, like his shadows cover a lot of the screen, and Shadows of the Dead augment also covers a lot of the screen. So I like that to be as much out of the way as possible. Now let's go to attachments. I don't have any sigil or anything. Now for the attachments. So as I described earlier, the Teplo signed on it is kind of like the crux of this appearance. This is what sold me on it. I just really wanted to make something white focused with the Teplo because I like how it flows with his wings, and I really like that energy color for him. So I want to quickly talk about the energy color. The energy color for the accessories is not solid black. I've changed it to this specific color, which might seem like a really random color to you. The reason I did that is because I'm running a mod on my Nekros health conversion that creates these little orbs. You can see it right in the mod picture. Now these orbs have a color, and it drives me mad that that is not the same color as my energy color, so I've decided to match as much as I can by making the energy color on my weapons in that loadout, and also on my accessories that energy color. However, it looks gaudy if it's the color of my Shadows of the Dead links and my Shield of Shadows and whatever, so I decided to not make it everything. Anyway, that's maybe just paranoid of me, but it's important to me. So I tried a lot of different colors to match to those health conversion fruit snack things that float around you, and this is a color that I was happy with, that I was able to live with. So I don't know, play around yourself. If you find a better color, more power to you, but this is the color that I decided was the closest. So that's pretty much like the majority of what I have to say about the accessories. So we got the Pakal chest plate. I feel this fits really well on Nekros. It just like fits around the rest of his parts very, very neatly. It feels like it fits on him very solidly. And then we have the Riv Elite arms and the Pakal legs. I really like that there is that gold through line, like you can see bits of gold on each of those pieces, which is pretty nice. One brief thing to discuss, these are the same colors as before, but you can make this solid black, and then that will make the, you see how the metal bit on this Pakal chest is like sort of a wine red metallic? That will get rid of that, and it doesn't really make it look like it's the wrong color. Like if you look at the back, it just doesn't do much to like make that the wrong color. So you can change it to that, and then it will look just fine. It's kind of up to you. There you are, Fashion Frame Fridays for this week. Some of my favorite appearances, a nice little variety, some weird stuff, some more experimental stuff, but still some pretty stuff. Hope you all enjoyed it. As always, I love to be tweeted fashion, but I just want to emphasize again that I'm going to be away for 3 weeks, so Fashion Frame Fridays will switch into Nitrous mode. Fashion Frame Fridays Nitrous will feature only a single appearance and will be super fast. I will pre-record these ahead of time, and you will still have Fashion Frame Fridays as normal during the time I'm away. So look forward to that. It will be a little faster. Maybe we'll draw in some new fans to the franchise. And I hope you all enjoy very much. But once again, I always love being tweeted fashion, so don't hesitate just because I'm gone. Like, I won't include it in those because they'll be pre-recorded, but I might save it for afterward. And then we'll do a big Fashion Frame Fridays video with all the ones I missed. So yeah, still do that. I really like that. My Twitter's in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. See you all next time. Have a great day.